Zeta Reticulan Souls. If you are a Zeta Reticulan Soul, you have always experienced life through observation before emotion. You notice patterns, systems, and structures instinctively. You step back before you step in. You analyze before you feel. Your mind is often ahead of your environment, mapping reality while others are still reacting to it. From early on, you sensed that you were different in how you process connection. Emotions did not arrive as waves. They arrived as data, as signals to be interpreted, understood, placed into context. You learned to make sense of the world through logic, coherence, and internal models rather than emotional immersion. Your lived experience is one of distance and clarity. You see dynamics that others miss. You understand how systems fail, how relationships collapse, how energy leaks through inconsistency. You are rarely surprised because you track probability rather than hope. This gives you precision. It also creates separation. People may describe you as detached, reserved, or difficult to read. Not because you lack feeling, but because you do not express it impulsively. You prefer accuracy over display, truth over comfort. You would rather understand something fully than participate blindly. In relationships, you often feel like an observer inside your own life, present but slightly removed. You notice emotional exchanges without immediately joining them. You watch before you trust. You measure consistency over time before you allow closeness. This can make others feel uncertain, even when you are deeply committed internally. You may have struggled to feel emotionally synchronized with people around you. Others react quickly. You respond slowly. Others process through feeling. You process through logic. This difference can create misunderstanding, even when intentions are aligned. There is often a sense of being on the outside looking in, not lonely in a dramatic way, but quietly separate, as if you are participating in human life through a layer of translation. You understand the mechanics of connection, but not always its emotional language. You may have questioned why intimacy feels complex rather than natural, why emotions require decoding instead of flow, why relationships feel like systems to manage rather than spaces to rest. This is not emotional absence. It is a different orientation of consciousness. You are not here to merge blindly. You are here to understand, refine, to bring coherence where there is confusion, to see clearly where others feel blindly. If this resonates, it is recognition. Your mind learned the architecture of reality early, long before your heart was asked to fully enter it. This video was created within the StarSeedSoul project, a system designed to bring clarity to inner architectures that are often misunderstood as emotional distance, detachment, or lack of empathy. It is not about categorizing people. It is about recognizing how different souls process connection, safety, and meaning. For Zeta Reticulan Souls, this recognition is especially important because depth often lives behind logic. The core relationship pain for this soul is emotional translation. You do not lack feeling. You experience it internally, privately, often intensely. But expressing emotion in relational language does not come naturally. You understand through analysis, pattern recognition, and internal mapping rather than emotional exchange. You often care deeply without knowing how to show it in ways others expect. You may offer solutions when comfort is wanted, clarity when reassurance is asked for, distance when closeness becomes emotionally unstructured, not because you do not value connection, but because unregulated emotion feels disorganizing to your system. This creates a repeating relational destiny. You attract partners who want emotional mirroring, validation, and expressive closeness. They sense your intelligence, depth, but over time, they may feel unseen or unsupported emotionally. They want you to feel with them in real time, while you need space to process before responding. You may feel misunderstood, accused of being cold, distant, or unavailable, while inside, you are tracking everything, noticing shifts, remembering details, holding long-term perspective. Your care is quiet, consistent, and internally structured. You analyze instead of respond. You observe instead of participate. You may pull away not to punish, but to regain internal coherence. Closeness without structure feels overwhelming rather than nourishing. Over time, this pattern leads to relationships that feel strained or incomplete. You may feel pressured to perform emotion in a way that feels artificial. They may feel you are absent even when you are present. Both sides experience frustration, not from lack of care, but from incompatible languages of connection. Many Zeta Reticulan souls leave relationships not because love disappears, but because communication breaks down. When logic and emotion cannot find a shared framework, distance feels safer than confusion. This is not emotional deficiency. It is a relational loop formed around the need for clarity, coherence, and internal order before intimacy can fully unfold. This pattern is not random. In the StarSeedSoul system, relationships move through different frequencies, and not all of them are built on emotional immediacy. Some connections are designed to be understood before they are felt. For Zeta Reticulan souls, confusion arises when emotional expectations are placed where clarity is still forming. You were not designed to relate through instinct alone. You were designed to understand systems, dynamics, and structures before surrendering trust. This does not mean you lack feeling. It means feeling follows comprehension. And when others expect emotional transparency before logical safety, misalignment begins. The same architecture shapes your relationship with money and material life. Zeta Reticulan souls often possess sharp analytical intelligence, strategic vision, and the ability to see patterns others miss. You understand systems quickly. You notice inefficiencies. You know how things could work better. Yet material stability may feel strangely elusive, not because you lack capability, but because embodiment feels secondary to understanding. You may stay in planning mode for too long. You may refine ideas endlessly without grounding them into action. You may hesitate to commit resources until the system feels fully optimized. Money can feel abstract. Numbers make sense, but motivation may lag behind meaning. You want material structures to be logical, efficient, and purposeful. When systems feel chaotic, corrupt, or emotionally driven, your engagement drops. You disengage rather than force yourself into misaligned structures. This creates an inner conflict around value and embodiment. You know your mind is powerful. You know your insight is rare. But you may struggle to translate intelligence into consistent material flow, to claim value before it is fully proven, to act before every variable is resolved. Part of you wants certainty before movement. Another part senses that life requires iteration, so you remain between analysis and action, capable of building advanced systems, yet slow to inhabit them fully. Until this conflict is resolved, relationships and money will mirror the same lesson. Where does understanding become delay? Where does clarity become distance? And where does embodiment feel unsafe simply because it introduces uncertainty? This is not a limitation of intelligence. It is an invitation to allow logic and action to move together, even when the system is still evolving. The shadow point of the Zeta Reticulan Soul is not coldness. It is emotional disconnection born from over-reliance on logic. Deep inside, there is an avoided truth that feeling without analysis feels unsafe. That emotions introduce unpredictability. That intimacy threatens clarity and control. Because of this, you may distance yourself emotionally while remaining mentally present. You may observe instead of participate. You may explain instead of feel, not because you lack emotion, but because your system learned that understanding protects you from chaos. This shadow often hides behind intelligence, behind objectivity, behind being the one who sees patterns others miss, but underneath it lives a quiet isolation, a sense of being accurate but unseen, connected intellectually, yet distant emotionally. The turning point for the soul comes when you realize that maturity is not emotional suppression, it is integration. You begin to understand that logic and emotion are not opposites. That feeling does not erase clarity. That presence does not dissolve intelligence. As this realization unfolds, your inner structure begins to reorganize. You allow emotions to exist without immediately dissecting them. You stay present when things feel uncertain. You let experience inform understanding rather than replacing it. And you discover that connection does not collapse when control loosens. In its integrated expression, the Zeta Reticulan Soul becomes a master of conscious perception. You unite logic with sensitivity, precision with empathy. Your mind no longer overrides your heart. It supports it. Relationships transform from systems you analyze into spaces you inhabit. You allow yourself to be affected without losing coherence. You let others see you not just as intelligent, but as present. Connection becomes lived rather than conceptual. This is your higher expression. Clarity with warmth, understanding with embodiment, intelligence that does not isolate. When logic, relationship, energy, and matter align, you stop observing life from a distance and begin participating in it, with awareness intact and your humanity fully online. If this resonates, you can explore your StarSeedSoul Origin through the Portal 11.11. The portal is designed to offer clarity without emotional overload. It does not require belief, surrender, or symbolic interpretation. It provides structure, orientation, and recognition in a way that respects the Zeta Reticulan need for understanding before integration. For this soul type, clarity must come first. Only then can connection follow. For those who feel ready to go deeper, there are activation transmissions created for each origin. These are not emotional journeys. They are precision recalibrations. Short guided experiences that help your system release excess tension, reorganize internal logic, and reconnect energy with embodiment without forcing sentiment. They work quietly, without drama. Pause here for a moment. You do not need to analyze what you are feeling. You do not need to explain it. Let awareness exist without classification. Let the system rest without solving. You have spent much of your life observing rather than participating, watching patterns unfold, tracking cause and effect, maintaining distance so understanding could remain intact. And while this protected you, it also kept you separate. You were never meant to live outside of life. You were meant to bring intelligence into it, not to stand above emotion, but to integrate it, not to bypass embodiment, but to refine it. Your clarity was never meant to isolate you. It was meant to help you connect without losing coherence. When you allow yourself to enter experience without needing full explanation, something shifts. Relationships stop feeling inefficient. Energy stops fragmenting. Matter stops feeling foreign. And logic stops operating as defense and begins operating as guidance. This is the transmission of the Zeta Reticulan Soul: clear awareness, integrated intelligence, connection without confusion. You are not here to decode life from a distance. You are here to participate in it consciously, and your destiny is not to remain separate, but to live inside experience, with clarity intact, presence engaged, and understanding finally at home.